Blame Truth here, and man, let me just tell you something about Call of Duty. All right? Let me tell you something about Call of Duty. Call of Duty has gotten away with everything it's gotten away with because of idiots. And I am so angry with what I have found out today, and we need to band together to stop this. We have to fight back. There is no other option. Idiots and normies and people that defend this trillion-dollar company like it's their own flesh and blood are to blame for what I'm going to show you here in this video. The stuff I found out. The stuff I'm going to show you is irrefutable, factual evidence of what I just said. So you can get mad, you can be like, oh, the rage baiters, oh. You can do any of that stuff. I do not give a single fuck. I don't. I am here to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. It's in my fucking name! And I'm sorry for yelling already, and I'm sorry for being intense, but who else is gonna do it? Who else is gonna do it? It has to be me! I feel like I was dropped off by fucking aliens and put on this planet to call out this lunacy. And anyway, if you guys could, before I get into the meat and potatoes here, like this, drop a support comment, the infamous, this video was amazing, learned a lot if you would like, because I want everyone to see this. I want this to get pushed into the algorithm because we have to stop this. So without further ado, let's get right on into it here, because I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So the reason why you're seeing some DBD gameplay is because it's relevant. Just recently, Behavior, the developer for Dead by Daylight, a game I play as well as I don't really play Call of Duty anymore, but a game I play as well in my little rotation, has come under scrutiny for AI usage. Sound familiar? Yeah, this sounds like Black Ops 6 earlier this year, at the start of this year. Yeah. On Reddit, this thread popped up, and I really couldn't believe it. So Behavior is saying proudly that they are using generative AI. Behavior Interactive is currently seeking a programmer to join the generative AI research team, where you will have the opportunity to discover your true potential by exploring the possibilities that generative AI offers. The team is responsible for researching, developing, and integrating innovative solutions using generative AI. I'm not going to read any more, but this reads just like what Treyarch did last year with their job openings for people well-versed in generative AI. The difference between Call of Duty and Behavior, though, all lies in what the community did. And I'm going to cover that as well as Call of Duty's bullshit fucking response to this. Because what they have done is unforgivable. After a brief word from this video sponsor, we are going to get right on into it. I might open a beer while this plays for you in commentator time. I might go do that. It's noon. I don't give a fuck. Roll the footage. Today's video is sponsored by Eldorado.gg, and they are the #1 place for when you want something in a video game, but maybe you don't have time or the skill set to get it. Eldorado's got your hookup. Real world example here. I have never played Fortnite in my life. If I wanted to get into it, well, I can go straight to Eldorado, buy an account with a bunch of fun skins like my favorite, my man, Peter Griffin, who happens to be on steroids in Fortnite for some reason. But either way, I can buy that with protection and play Fortnite without having to grind and look like a doofus because I'm new. Eldorado also offers certain services for Call of Duty to help with camo unlocks. Maybe you're stretched for time. Maybe you're simply not good enough. Maybe you're sick of the skill-based matchmaking when you're just trying to get dark matter and you can't get this one launcher done and you want somebody else to maybe help you through it. Eldorado's got your hookup. Every seller on Eldorado is verified, no scammers whatsoever, and all orders are protected by Eldorado Trade Shield protection. Delivery of whatever you purchase is available usually in a few minutes with 24/7 live support if something goes wrong. If you're still not sold, Eldorado has a 4.4 on Trustpilot with over 46,000 reviews. So guys, get an exclusive Eldorado discount today when you go to eldorado.gg/blame or just use code BLAME at checkout. Again, that's eldorado.gg/blame or use code BLAME at checkout. All right, guys, welcome back to the video. Thank you, Eldorado, for the sponsorship again. I got a nice Rainbow Six Siege account from them a few months ago and saved me like hundreds of hours of grinding. So definitely check them out. However, I am here to talk about something that's man, I just cannot believe it. Like, seeing the response from the DBD community, it is night and day compared to the Call of Duty community in regards to AI usage. I'm getting angry just talking about it. So let me open up my motherfucking beer. How about that? There we go. People are asking, hey, BT, what are you drinking in the comment section? You know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking a fucking Blameweiser. All right? Hold on. So the DBD response from the community was, again, night and day different from Call of Duty. Unfortunately, a lot of the threads I was going to screenshot have been removed by the moderators. But you can guess what they were saying. They were saying that this is inexcusable. We are not going to stand for this. We do not want generative AI assets in our fucking game. And you can see by the upvotes that people were pretty unanimous with this. The comments section, however, you know, they were fair. They said if it's to help like workflow and stuff like that, and nothing's going to be in the actual game that's AI generated, fine. We understand that. But still, the backlash was enough for Behavior to come out and actually address this. Yes, unlike Call of Duty, Activision, Blizzard, and the rest of the weird sexually harassing, breast milk stealing fucks over there, Behavior, for all their faults, address and talk to the community. They're not perfect, but they at least do that. Here's what they had to say. We've noticed a large number of comments around recent job postings, and we have heard our communities loud and clear. We would like to clarify that Behavior has a very firm policy that prevents the inclusion of anything AI generated in Dead by Daylight or any other game we're working on, including marketing assets. Good. And that's, that can be taken to the court of law if it's not true. Yes, Behavior is exploring the use of generative AI tools to improve internal workflows, not for anything that ships in our games. Our policy isn't changing, and these job offerings are not for roles on any game team. We're currently revising the relevant postings to clarify both the roles and Behavior's intended AI applications. Behavior is not perfect. I will never pretend that they are, but at the very least, they talk to us, they address us, they answer questions. I will say, keep an eye on this, because we all know that some companies like to lie. For example, these people on Reddit said, I'm willing to take them at face value here, but I'm sure going to be keeping an eye on any art that comes out of the studio going forward, just in case, as I'm sure a lot of people will be doing as well. And say what you want about Behavior again, their art team is fantastic. Please do not ever fire those amazing artists for generative AI. And that goes for really any video game out there, man. I respect the hell out of the art teams for games because they are the heart and soul of the game. And that might explain why Black Ops 6 and Call of Duty as a whole feels like a soulless piece of fucking marketing meant to increase shareholder profits and nothing more. And if you think that's ridiculous, I mean, wait until you see the news about Microsoft's AI Bullshit. It just keeps getting worse, and morale will not improve until this entire company, this entire dev team, like, you devs realize this, right? You are going to be replaced entirely by AI. If the 10,000 plus people that lost their jobs was not proof enough, you people there at Activision, at Blizzard, at Microsoft, at Treyarch, at Infinity Ward, at Raven, at Sledgehammer are going to be replaced one by one unless you speak up along with this, motherfuckers. Look at this shit and tell me this is fucking over. This is normal. This is just. It's not. From Business Insider, Microsoft pushes staff to use internal AI tools more and may consider this in reviews. Using AI is no longer optional. AI is now a fundamental part of how we work. Just like collaboration, data-driven thinking, and effective communication, using AI is no longer optional. It's core to every role and every level. Lucen told managers that AI should be part of your holistic reflections on an individual's performance and impact. Microsoft is asking some managers to evaluate employees based on how much they use AI internally. I mean, this is so fucking dystopian. I'm sorry. This is absolute madness. I feel like I'm watching a sci-fi movie. I feel like I'm watching a Terminator movie or something like that, man. I really do. And the reason they are able to get away with this is because, unlike the example I showed you earlier with Behaviour's usage of it, we did not call them out. On the contrary, I am going to go back with motherfucking receipts and show you every little spineless twat that defended these sick fucks and then cost thousands of people their jobs. You are to blame. I've been calling it out. I got receipts of me calling this shit out before Black Ops 6 even launched. Let's get right on into the response here. Let's just really go back and take a look at the AI timeline as it pertains to Call of Duty and why they were able to get away with what they got away with. You can sit there on your fucking cracked iPhone X screen covered in semen and bong resin and hate on me and call me a rage baiter if you want. But you, I'm pointing at you through the screen, motherfucker. You're the one responsible for the state of the fucking game right now. You trying to be positive. Oh, be positive. Oh, be nice to the devs. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How about you be nice to my fucking ballsack as I teabag your goofy looking ass? Okay? This is not how you get things out of $1 trillion company. They do not care. They want you to be nice and complacent and positive and stupid and belligerent and naive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they want that. They don't want you coherent and angry and with an opinion and with balls. They want you to be a spineless, weak, stupid asshole. And you know I am being truthful. You hook them up to a lie detector test, a polygraph machine, and if you ask them, hey, do you want the stupidest fucking players on God's green earth to be your player base? If they say no, that motherfucker will be writing on that polygraph like it's measuring an earthquake! And you know it! So let me show you the example here. Let's just get right on into it. This is from the past. The infamous zombie AI Santa with the 6 fingers. We had people actually defending this. Can you believe their utter stupidity? And I'm not censoring names. You said it. You didn't delete the thread. I mean, I'm sorry, Rugged the Dragon, but you eat paste, my friend. This image is not AI. The skin is rotted and falling off the last finger. The only thing rotted in this post is the original poster's brain and this comment, which I have highlighted, which says, "Who cares about AI? It's not like complaining would change Treyarch's mind to use it." I think we have seen that that's not true. Us complaining and not buying the game is why we have the minute, and I do mean minute, positive changes with Black Ops 7 already. These people are just so stupid. I don't think I've ever seen a more AI-generated looking loading screen before with the new Parasite bundle, but I still bought it, LOL. Great work, you absolute waterhead. Good job. This guy says, "Is this an AI loading screen?" Bought one of the new packs recently, which came with a loading screen, and couldn't help but notice how the image looked kind of AI generated and wanted others' opinions. Reason why I think it could be is because the person is facing forward with the feet and left arm, but the right arm is backwards and the head is backwards. Maybe a design choice? And one of the comments says, "I want to say it was a design choice. It's a horror theme one, and I guess it fits the style. If it was just an AI mistake, I think they would have noticed it. It's really obvious." Well, when the remaining devs there don't care enough, or they don't have the time to look at it, and it's all AI and not managed, they're not gonna notice it. Like 5 figures worth of devs got fired. There's no one there to check it anymore, from what I understand. I mean, yes, literally, like Sledgehammer Games lost 30% of their staff in January 2024, and again lost like thousands of devs in July 2025 when they fired people for AI to fund their AI slop. It's a fact. This person says it's not AI, going back to the stupid Santa again. It's the curb in the background, so it looks like a 6th finger. You all believe and follow each other like roaches just to hate. Informal genuity. You are the stupidest son of a bitch I have ever seen in my life. There are people that, call this stuff out. Admittedly, I can't fault the entire community. This person says, "Stop spreading lies. This is AI. Even the second hand is messed up. I used AI to test it. Hands are the biggest flaw and failing point around other objects." And this person did the, detection software on it as well. I mean, guys, again, this was not talked about before the game's release, but I called it out. I called it out before release. Other people couldn't see it, and when I called it out, of course, I got a lot of flack for it. I got a lot of hate for it. But again, the prestige icons, again, anyone with like a brain can see this is AI slop. Do y'all think the icons are AI generated? And like a lot of people, like this guy says, "There goes the sub again, being all negative. I think those look pretty nice, and I appreciate the deviation from the generic prestige icons we always get." Oh my God. It turns out they were AI. And let me take you back to the video where I covered this stuff, and I want you to listen carefully. Take a cotton swab, clean out your dirty ears, and listen. Don't listen to respond, but listen to take it in and process it. Now you can see all this stuff and just say, BT and people on Twitter, you're just nitpicking. You're nitpicking over tiny prestige icons. It doesn't matter. And to that I say, I'm not nitpicking. I am shit picking. You give these motherfuckers an inch, they will take a mile. If we are okay with like certain images and calling cards and bundles being AI generated, who's to say that Activision's not going to make the entire game fucking AI generated, and then those 3,000, 4,000 devs that we make fun of and make memes about and stuff like that will turn into 300 devs who are just meant to touch up some stuff because everything is AI generated. Thousands of people out of jobs because of this. I, for one, do not want to see AI art in my video games. With certain generative things, you can maybe make that okay, morally speaking. I do not want the soul of the game, which is effectively in its art style, to be compromised for the sake of the almighty dollar. And if you are for that, or you are passing this off and not being upset about it, then you are a fucking idiot. And you get what you deserve. You're going to be playing AI slop in 10 years, and you might not like it, but the algorithm, the engagement optimized matchmaking is going to have you addicted, so you don't really have a choice anyway. Guys, look at this. This is another recent article with Microsoft, and Microsoft to spend heavily to build its own AI chip cluster and become self-sufficient, AI CEO says in leaked meeting. I am not here to tell you to not buy Black Ops 7. I think a lot of people have already made that decision. I think a lot of people have already made that decision themselves to quit Call of Duty entirely. But if we don't fight against this, if they don't address this from the top, I don't want to hear some Treyarch puppet with Phil Spencer's hand up his ass telling me crap I don't want to hear. I want to hear from the top that this is going to be reevaluated. I want everything clarified. I do not want every single position having AI make half of the decisions. I don't want it. I don't want AI in my art. I don't want it in my design process. You could maybe make the argument to make workflows easier, whatever that really means, like Behavior did. But we have to fight back against this. And you know what? The easiest way to fight back against it, I'm going to tell you, and it's going to shock you, but it's true. Don't buy Microsoft's games. Don't do it. They have clearly shown that they will try to sneak in this crap and make it normalized. Once this gets normalized, it's over. There is no going back. You realize that, right? They snuck it in with Black Ops 6 all year long. We had to physically call them out and make threads about it and complain. And thankfully, some people did that, including me, by the way, making videos about it. But without those people being negative and calling it out, they would have never had to put this on Steam. I'm shocked, actually, that Steam didn't reprimand these guys and take down their fucking game because they lied about it. They broke Steam TOS. Look at this. They have to acknowledge that they use AI, in their games on Steam. It's in the TOS. We have to fight back against this. And the way I'm going to fight back, I'm not giving them a cent. I told you guys this before. I'm telling you again. I got a free Game Pass code, like a free trial. I am not even buying Game Pass. So the people saying, I'll check it out because I have Game Pass, I would honestly recommend you just cancel Game Pass. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you are against this, and you really, really should be, because look where it's got us. Look where ignoring problems, being positive, not calling this stuff out has gotten us. And this goes to everyone out there. Content creators, gamers, everyone that didn't call this stuff out, you are to blame for the current landscape of this franchise. You realize that, right? I'm not just saying that for effect. I'm not just saying that to get some amens out of my comment section, although I think most of them will say amen. Like, dude, you have to be negative. Like, these people treat us like lepers, like garbage, and you want us to be positive and nice about it and all that stuff. Where has that gotten us? I ask you, logically speaking, I feel like I need to grab you by your ears and scream into your face, where in the hell has being nice gotten us with Call of Duty over the past 6 years? Everyone can agree we are at an all-time low. The numbers show it. The sentiment shows it. And deep down, I was right, and I'm right now. In the next 5 years, if we do not call this stuff out, and not just call it out, if we don't boycott this stuff and refuse to buy this trash and refuse to even play the games by Microsoft, if we don't do this stuff, it is just going to get worse. You're going to have games made completely by AI at a certain point. I mean, they literally said it in this article. They want to be self-sufficient. They want entire games made by AI with like maybe 10 overseers just ticking some boxes to make sure it's not as bad as a sixth finger AI Santa. And if you don't believe me with that, if you think that's insane, might I remind you, they came out with literal like AI advertisements for future games. Didn't even bother like checking that stuff. It's dystopian. It is getting disgusting. And Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft are the worst offenders in the industry right now. Call it out across the board. Stop being stupid. And for the love of God, for the love of gaming, stand your ground and don't support this mess. I cannot believe they're doubling down on this AI slop when Call of Duty is like at an all-time low. Like they deny Spielberg the rights to make their Call of Duty movie. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that movie's script is entirely written by AI. And maybe you're still not convinced. Like maybe you think AI is not that bad. I'm just gonna, you know what? I asked ChatGPT to make a blamed truth video script, and it's kind of scary how like accurate this is. Although there's still these weird things where if you are looking for a typical blame truth video, you're gonna see that, oh, something's really weird with this. It says, got it. Blame Truth's style is usually sarcastic, cynical, and comedic. Lots of roasting Activision, COD developers, and the current state of the franchise, mixed with personal anecdotes and exaggerated frustration. It's not exaggerated in this video, I'll tell you that. Here's a draft script in that style. I even got an AI voice to read it off.
All right, fellas, welcome back to another episode of How is Call of Duty Still Alive? Starring Activision's greed, broken spawns, and a player base that I can only assume is being held hostage at this point, because no sane person would willingly play this mess anymore.
Here you go. Is this the future you guys want? I mean, I'll go ahead and just do it. I mean, it'll be so much easier for me just to put my AI-generated script into an AI voice and just put it over gameplay. It'd be so much easier. I could save thousands of hours a year. Am I going to do it though? No, because I respect you guys. I respect my work. And I think the whole thing is just kind of creepy. One last thing here, and this is from another Business Insider article. Microsoft has just been talking endlessly about AI. They're actually worried about their AI seeming conscious, which is such a weird thing to say. I'm just going to read it while the rest of this DVD gameplay kind of plays us out here. Mustafa Suleiman is worried about AI misleading people into thinking it's conscious, and he warns that it's inevitable and unwelcome. In a personal essay, he said there should be guardrails to ensure people don't become disconnected from reality. But they go on to say its arrival could be dangerous for society because it could lead people forming attachments to AI and advocating for AI rights. Sounds kind of like the movie Her a little bit with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson. It disconnects people from reality, fraying fragile social bonds and structures, distorting pressing moral priorities, and more, he said. It's almost like this shouldn't come out because we're already disconnected from one another. Look at the recent news. You know, you can't go without seeing something fucked up in the news that could be solved if we just got out of our echo chambers and social media algorithms and went outside and just talked to one another, had a conversation, shared a coffee, what have you. This is going to, I mean, I'm not just saying this for funsies here. Like, if they have worries about this, maybe don't release it. Can we get some sort of like congressional decision that blocks this sort of thing? Because if this comes out and what he predicts happens, then that's the end of society. That's the end of Western civilization. And I don't think that is insane to say. I really don't think it's insane. Anyway, guys, I'm out of time. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one, but I hope you dug it. If you did, dig it, sucker, then drop a like rating. Hit that thumb up button with a Booker T spinneroonie. Leave a comment below and hit that notification bell. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.